Gregory Sams was dealt a challenging blow as a young man when he fell from a tree and was paralyzed from the waist down. But this did not stop him, not in business, where he created the Veggie Burger Company, and later as an author whose lifelong fascination has been with the power of the sun. Gregory has put his findings into a book titled Son of God, in which he says the sun is the source of vast amounts of intelligence, information that we cannot live without.
I characterize this as the biggest and longest running cover-up in history. And I mean, how can you cover up something like the sun? And it's the biggest elephant in the room, because this huge ball of life that brings us the light of life, it rises every day, travels across our sky, and we're just oblivious to it. And people spend more time thinking about what type of sunglasses they're going to wear in their life than they do thinking about the nature of the most important thing in our life. And it was once common knowledge anywhere you went in the world, any continent you pick, any culture, any century, people recognized that that the source of life was itself a life form. And that's the instinctive natural mode. And of course, when the Abrahamic religions came out, this was the biggest competition. Sun worship was something people did everywhere. And there was like several hundred years of assiduous suppression of this, and there are battles that raged back and forth. And as we know from today's world, might is not always right. Sometimes the bad guys win and suppress everything else. And everything pagan was regarded as bad. And once the Roman Empire put the stamp of approval on Christianity and then made it the official religion of the Roman Empire, everything else had to be suppressed. Even previous Christian gospels, whole Christian communities and nations were, well, in the case of the Ophites, were wiped out, because whilst they believed in Christ and in aspects of the biblical story, they had very different interpretations of it. So as well as pagans and people who worshiped the sun, people who didn't follow the same gospels were wiped out. And the only record we have of this is the Nag Hammadi scrolls, that were hidden away by some people who said, no, we're not going to burn these documents, because everybody else was. And those came out, and what the shepherds didn't use to light their fires with, the remains we got, throw a whole different light on the gospel. And it still hasn't really come out into the public awareness, even though the information is there.
For any one of you who are drawn to the sun, you can find the full interview on ConsciousMediaNetwork.com.